Uh, oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. How did that happen? How did we blow up? How did we blow up, guys? Guys, we blew up. What the hell? Okay, docs, chat. Oh, like, can you not be in? I want this as my main thing. It's just, why would I, brother in Christ, please stop trolling me. Please stop trolling me. This is too big. No, stop. There we go. No, stop. Dude, how do I make this a priority? Okay, what just like, I don't understand. This is like getting triggering low key. Or I'm triggered. All right. What the hell? What the hell just happened? What the hell? Yo, Jack, yo, my house just blew up. My house, like everything just blew up. Like the whole house just blew up. Got interrupted. We were on a streak. I don't even know what I was talking about. I was just talking about something, and then I think we're talking about Jupiter. I'm pretty sure we're talking about Jupiter. If it blows up again, you're gonna have to tell them that I'm not coming back until we fix this. What the hell, man? What the hell? This is crazy. Da 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 da. So, guys, the house did blow up. Okay, the house blew up. I think we left off on Jupiter. So we're gonna continue talking about Jupiter because it's not really a coin I'm ever going to cover unless it's on stream. Um, right? But so we'll start off with Jupiter because that's where we left off before we blew up. And then we're gonna see how the 4 hour candle closes in a couple of minutes, which from what I see from the price is gonna be very, very bullish. Um, and then we'll review a couple more coins and then we'll call it a night. We'll call it a night. Um, we could also be going over news. Like if there's going to be big news events, right? We can be doing live streams for like FOMC, rate cuts, just general news going over it. The last thing uh that's really big, like US pauses tariffs on select Chinese goods until August 31st. Um yeah, we could always be talking about like real life news. So mm, let's see what Hong Kong, Hong Kong's Logitech announces plans to acquire 1.1.5 billion Bitcoin. Okay, 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Yeah, because obviously just only 21 million Bitcoin practically. So yeah, I mean, see, this is the thing. This is why we needed Trump to win. You don't have to like him. You don't have to whatever. But if you care about your bag, look, he put America out there with crypto, right? He put America out there with crypto. And now, now all these other countries want because America says go, every other country follows. And I'm just like, you don't even have to like America, but that's just how the world works, right? That is just how the world works. America says go, the other countries say, okay, I follow. So if you have like the Middle East going to be buying Bitcoin and stuff, you're gonna have like China, you're gonna have like Russia, and you're gonna have like all these other ones that are also like fairly big, like some European countries, some like second world countries, some third world countries buying Bitcoin. Like this is going to be a battle for a long time. Like they're going to like Bitcoin is going to be obviously pumping up, right? Even like right now, we can see this 4 hour candle is about to close extremely strong. Now we do have to see about this liquidity sweep, right? We are looking at this liquidity sweep. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like, oh, we close higher, pump right away, right? But we did take out the last daily candle of, I thought it was Tuesday today, I'm tripping, of Sunday. So let's just see, if anything really happens after this. Something closed like that, but there's technically this hourly candle. So we're going to see how price reacts off of this. Uh, you know, like I said, once Bitcoin starts pumping, I expect it to really start pumping. Like for me, this isn't an indication we're going to necessarily break out yet. That's when we need a little bit more confirmation, right? Anyways, let's go back to Jupiter. I lied. I want to talk about the global liquidity just for a second because we can see it's actually turning around. Global liquidity is turning around because I know some people were concerned, right? The main thing is to look at these red candles, right? This red line practically. So we can see, right? People were worried about this global liquidity going down, then it going up. People are like, yay. Then people are going down because they're like, wait, is this going to create a lower high in liquidity, and are we going to go down? People were scared about this. And right now, it looks like global liquidity, I mean, even just based off all the news and everything we know, I know there's some iffy news people are a little bit worried about, but based off all the global liquidity we see, I do expect global liquidity to run fairly well for a couple of months, right? I do. Now, I'm not sure if global liquidity is going to be able to be the best indicator all the time, because if global liquidity runs for like a year, that doesn't mean Bitcoin and like everything's going to run for a year, okay? Because even when we look to like last cycle, global liquidity really started to ramp up, but you got to remember we started to really pump with altcoins and everything like right here, right? It was like right here. Like obviously Bitcoin started to rise for like a little bit already, and then it was pumping for a couple months. But I mean, it was like right here. I mean, look how big that is, right? We went from down here, global liquidity, huge pumps, but we only saw the effects like when global liquidity was somewhere over here. So the global liquidity could run for like a whole year, right? Oh God, global liquidity could run for like a whole year hypothetically. Doesn't mean crypto and altcoins will. So but yeah, technically, technically we are forming higher highs, higher lows on Jupiter. It just really would surprise me if there's going to be no manipulation at all from like Bitcoin, right? It would really genuinely surprise me. Overall, right now, you're still going to be getting some of the best prices, even if it's like a fake out happens, it's going to be a decent amount, but like right around the corner, right around the corner that you're going to be getting a nice um you're going to be getting a nice pump very, very soon. You're the only one I know of talking about global liquidity. Thank you for your coverages. Thank you for the kind comment. Yeah, it is important. It's something I noticed not too long ago, that I was like, wait a second, like this is really correlated. And I'm like, wait, on these settings, there's like a 91 perfect day delay, which has been proven time and time again, over and over again. Because I've seen some people talk about global liquidity and stuff, and they're like, oh well, like actually Bitcoin's in front of global liquidity, which that makes zero sense. That makes zero sense in my opinion. Then people are saying it's actually like a one for one value. Um, some I did hear some people saying it is behind, but their numbers were like bigger ranges, and I'm like, let me mess around with certain settings. Let me find what's going to be the perfect fit, and then I was like, wait, this is actually perfect. This 91-day delays on global liquidity is literally perfect. So yeah. So let me know what altcoins you guys want to cover, right? A little bit of momentum did get messed up while we had some other chatters, and then just things went to crap. I think people wanted me to talk about mask, cat with mask. Listen, if you're here and you're interested about cat with mask, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not know anything about this coin. I don't know, like this is just one of those coins that just are kind of like a knockoff of the main thing, which is dog with hat. But now there's like a masked version, but it's cat. In terms of technical analysis, nothing suggests anything wow. Um, right? We have kind of like a reverse, kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, right? We can see clearly the tops are in, and then we can see rejection, broke lower, multiple, like these are 4 hour candles, right? These are 4 hour candles, multiple hours of struggling would not be surprised if we get some type of bigger correction. Even this coin pumps higher, which I don't know if it will. Like I said, I don't know crap about this coin. I haven't looked at it really other than the technical analysis, right? It would not surprise me if things go down a good amount. Um, right? It would not surprise me if things went down a good amount. I don't know if people are selling on you if you have this coin. I don't know anything about this. So yeah. What's Turtle? Someone mentioned Turtle? No, someone didn't mention Turtle. It was a different coin. Was it Crocs? It was Nitro. Nitro. So we could see Nitro actually did have a nice resurgence, but there's no confirmation. We still are getting lower and lower highs on the daily. Yes, there's a little bit of shift in momentum, but like I said, we have to be paying attention. Once again, don't know too much about this coin. Um, and yeah, let's look at Bitcoin because we did technically close the 4-hour candle. Let's remove the global liquidity. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days this way or that way doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter too much. Right? If we're talking about like the bigger move, like none of this really matters. Like all of this is just more for your short term and like for your mindset, right? For you to keep up, right? You should be keeping up. You should be looking at data and etc. But overall, we know where the bigger picture is going to be with Bitcoin and everything over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for the compliment. What's your opinion on Gala getting back to prior all-time high? So we're gonna look at Gala. All right, I don't remember the last time I covered this coin was a while ago. Overall, it is still J by it's another turtle. J talking about what? Is this a coin? Oh, Jerry. Okay. Is another turtle. I see. I see. And this thing has been popping off recently. I, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? This project actually reached out to me when it was at 500K market cap, and I don't remember how the convo went down. I don't. Um, hold up. Let me. I don't really know. Let me just pull up. Well, let me pull up something real quick. I just have to make sure that we don't accidentally like boom, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So we are going to do that just for a second. Yeah, like they actually reached out to me. I don't remember if I thought they were going to be a scam or something. Okay, we were fine. I don't remember. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, sorry guys. If you have not, if you've messaged me on Telegram in the last couple of like months or whatever, I don't really use this thing. I really don't. I really don't. So in fact, I'm going to leave my old Telegram group that I made. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had conversations on Twitter. I think I accidentally like dead ass R bombed them. Oops. I don't use Telegram. What is this? What is? Hey King, where other paying YouTubers would like you on board for our campaign Blaze. Is this a person? View. Yeah, the problem is people like I am more new to business, right? I'm new to business. And even though I've been in the crypto world for a while, I've never like really been a YouTuber, partnerships, this, that. And like, I don't know sometimes what's a scam or not. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, talk Telegram, click this link. And I'm like, nah, bruh. Hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, I don't remember how the conversations went. Um let's see. This was January, right? January. Let's see. I'm in my DMs right now. Okay. My memory's messed up a little bit. My memory's something is not right. Something is not right. I could have sworn maybe the other Telegram group was Jerry. I've seen Jerry somewhere. And I remember at such low thing and I was not like I don't know. Maybe it was Telegram. I do not know. Do 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 do. My team Jerry. Jerry. Oh, I they just messaged yeah, I think it was just a hi. I don't know. But yeah, I remember I was looking at this coin and stuff. Maybe it was actually my old email. It could have been in my old email, which then some stuff happened, like some security stuff happened, and I had to make a new one. Or something like that. I forgot what it was, but yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Love the content on Turbo and Toshi. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Gala. Sorry, Gala. Right, you're probably waiting. Like this guy's like just probably this guy's yapping so much. Sorry for that. We're gonna look at Gala right now. Oh, we're gonna look at Gala. Okay, so it dived in this liquidity candle. Right, swept this. It closed as a higher low. So we are closing as a higher low consistently. Right, we are closing as a higher low consistently. Now it doesn't really look that promising, but usually when coins don't look that promising in terms of technical analysis, usually that's when it's the best time to buy, right? Um, that's the best time. Also, you guys gotta remember, with certain projects, like I don't want to. I'm not. I'm open to sponsorships. I'm open to getting paid to get promote a coin, but I need to know like 110% that you guys are not going to get screwed over. I know there's always that risk, and you always have to have like your own accountability, anyways. Even if a YouTuber says get in this coin, right? But I was just like, and I'm still like that because I have gotten some offers. I most of the time, I just say no, thank you, or like if I do reply, um, like I need to see more, right? I need to see more because, like I said, business is business, and if something is great and I'm going to be getting paid to promote something that's great, I'm not opposed for that. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, no, I'm never going to take. Like, no, if something is great and they want to pay me, then I will do it, right? But I have to make sure that you guys do not get screwed over because, like, the whole point of this, the whole point of just everything is like, yeah, of course, I want to grow as a YouTuber. I want to grow as this. I want to build a community. But like this whole project started to give out a lot of free info to people to make a impact in the crypto scene, you know, to potentially change lives. Like I know I say not a financial advisor and stuff, because at the end of the day, you still have to be responsible for you. Right. I'm not perfect. I'm not always going to read technical analysis 100%. I believe technical analysis 100% is like king, right? If I make a mistake, it's because I misread it. That's the way I see it. But like in a way, like with YouTube and this whole thing with the platform, I feel like it's my responsibility to kind of like lead the boat, like to a safe destination, right? Like I just feel like it's like that. So sponsorships with coins, I'm always very hesitant. Not because I don't want to be like, oh, you're a sellout because you took it. Like, no, guys, business, money is money. But it's at the same time, it's like no one's getting harmed. Like no one's gonna be getting harmed if I do take a project, right? Like I don't want really any blunders. I don't want to, have people lose money. So we always gotta be, cautious with that. So yeah. Um, PNG, the project, I need the project itself is great. The concept itself is great. What they're doing and have achieved is great, but they're too slow. They're too slow. There's projects and teams that do things that are way harder and they complete that in a shorter time. So like version 3 for me should have already been out. a long time ago, in my opinion. Now, obviously, that's so easy to say as a bystander, but comparing it to other projects, utility, and teams that have accomplished more or done something similar, but in a short amount of time, it's just like, dude, like we need to see some type of like movement really happening. Like, sure, okay, there's a beta, sure, there's an update, but it's like, give me some real like sauce, give me the meat and potatoes and a whole bar of veggies. Like, I'm trying to see that. You keep teasing me, but you're not really like doing too much. I want to see actual big steps getting taken, because I do think PNG, the whole concept and everything they're doing is great. But let's be honest, we as token holders want to make money on Pangolin, right? We do. And our numbers might be cut by like 10 times the potential, 20 times the potential of these guys are going to be a turtle for the next couple of months. That's my only thing. Um, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, the yearly candles, I mean, obviously the yearly candles don't look that great. Yeah, I do expect this to flip. Gaming's hard. Gaming's a little hard. Can Turbo reach 30 cents? It can. Is it likely? Kind of. Should you rely on 30 cents? No. It depends how much money. If we're going to be getting like 6 to 8 trillion market cap, or yeah, total market cap, then probably not. If we definitely get like 10, 12, 16 trillion, then definitely likely. Definitely. But just take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time. I do think like 15 cents is very, very realistic for this coin. All right. So what's next for this coin? I actually do think a big pump is coming. We had a big pump over here back in the beginning of May. Then we can see we kind of lost all the progress, but it took 3 weeks to lose the progress, which is usually a good sign, which means this candle is very, very nice. We can actually see there is a reverse head and shoulders right over here. And we are consistently tapping into order blocks, right? We are consistently tapping into order blocks. This one over here got tapped in by this one that pumped up. Then we can see last week we tapped into here, and now we do expect over the next let's just say 1 to 2 weeks mainly to really start pumping up. Once we do get past this zone, once we hold and get past a little bit over 2 cents, like 2.2 cents, then we kind of should fly high fairly easily, in my opinion. Right, we should fly high easily to around 3.5 cents. That's just the bottom of the support. Usually coins do fly a little bit higher, and then you're kind of just playing from range to range from there. Mainly range from range. We could see, boom. Right, we do have this order block here. We do have this order block here, this weekly order block, which would not surprise me if we seen some kind of decent sell-off, right? After we would pump here, like some type of sell off. Like, let's just say we're just gonna skip all the microceps. Like, boom, decent sell off, but then kind of break and really go up. And the reason why I say that is because we also would be having some type of trend line, right? So, we go in, we tap, we kind of start trading around the trend line. And then once we burst, I would expect Gala to do very well, right? Next target would be 8.5 cents. And then here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. Once Gala starts closing above 8.5 cents, it's going to fly high to 26 cents. Okay, it is going to high because there's not any real support and resistance until you get to the low 20s. But like I said, there's still a lot of imbalance. So like once we get above 8.5 cents, we should fly fairly high to 20, 25 cents more or less. I do think Gala can actually go all the way up here to hit these institutional levels of 47 cents to 50 cents. That would be my main big target. I do think you can get probably like the 30 to 35x for this coin. Remember, gaming narrative is great. It's not going to be the best or like top 5 even in my opinion, but it is always good. Last time it came super, super late, which makes it trickier to kind of like, I guess, predict, right? It makes it a little bit trickier, right? We are in the top 100. We do have 770 million market cap. So if we were to get a 10x, that would be 7.7 billion. 7.7 billion at 17 cents. And I said what we can hit upwards. So that would be like 15, yeah, 15 to 20 billion. Wait, 15 to 20 billion market cap on game coins when all the liquidity is going to be going from other narratives to game coins is actually not that high. And Gala is a Gala is a top meme coin. So, like I said, I do think you could hit that 46.50 cents. I don't think all-time highs are going to be getting broken. Um, like I said, it would gaming does have a place in crypto, but I do think it's a little bit behind. Like it is behind compared to other games and stuff. I think like if like GTA and stuff is going to start adding NFTs in crypto, then all these gaming coins are going to really really blow up. But it's going to take some time, right? It's going to take some time. Sorry. What's your most bearish call for PNG? I'll look at PNG. Um, your champ dude, thank you. Got a question. Is your Snipers Academy separate from your one time options? Would love to hop in the Discord. Um, hold up, Muzz. I will look at Nitro. We did actually look at Nitro, but I know you were the one looking for it. But like the whole house just blew up. Like we lost power and everything. So I will relook at Nitro for you. Like I said, I don't know the fundamental like anything behind Nitro. I could tell you price points in terms of technical analysis, but if it ends up like a rug pull, then you know, I you know. Your champ did thank you. Is your sniper scanning separate from your other one-time options? Oh, so there is the the most expensive package is actually like you get the best value for Discord. You're going to be in it for a year. You practically get it like I don't remember off the top of my head, like you get it like 60% cheaper or something like that. I did like a really great ratio. I did like 60 or 65% cheaper. I don't remember the exact number. And then you also get like pretty much the course that goes from like A to Z. That's everything that's relevant. Like we don't really talk about like little like irrelevant things. For example, like something that you're never going to use as just like filler info. Like we skip all that. But there is a lot of technical analysis. There are like the do's and don'ts. There's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of learning about narratives, right? There's a lot of key information, right? I pretty much did the things that are like considered A plus to like B plus B type info is all in there. Like there's no like filler, there's no filler stuff. Um so yeah, we will look at Nitro. Did we look at Nitro? We didn't look at Nitro. Mm-mm-mm. Wait, we actually had a fundamental. The thing is, Nitro's on what? Ethereum? Interesting. Am I really like I don't know. Sometimes I feel a little iffy about just using support and resistance, but a deeper pullback. Now, here's the thing. We know crypto markets are going to pump soon, but that doesn't mean coins won't get a correction. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean coins won't get a correction. We can actually see we broke out of this trend line recently, right? We broke shift of momentum, right? What is Bitcoin at? 106,000. So yeah, okay. So okay, this is insane. We'll look at base turbo in just a second. Caspa can play with people's emotions. I've been holding since December 23. I'm minus 20% now. I wonder if I should take some of it and invest into something else. I mean, I I get it. I personally I bought Caspa during these dips. I really, really did. Um, I did. I do think this coin will do well. I know Caspa's in a very unique situation. I know like people are like talking about their marketing, some other stuff. Dude, fundamentally, Caspa is one of the best coins. And I do think Caspa is going to do very well this cycle. I genuinely do. I would be really surprised if Caspa ended up a dud. Like I really would be surprised if Caspa ended up as a dud. Um, okay, this Bitcoin, like there's just no way at the bare minimum we don't tap into one of these wicks. At least, at least for some type of like we might sweep possibly this area, which is going to be a little annoying because it actually just might take me out of my trade and then go back down, right? It might. Overall, this is very, very bullish. We are getting signs of momentum being flipped and changed. The question is like, you see how like this though, we have to pay attention to see if we're gonna get baited. Overall, I know we're gonna be recovering. Like I genuinely know. I was just surprised that we didn't get some type of like manipulation. Like usually, historically, when things are about to like go up, just start exploding to new territory, there's going to be next level manipulation. I mean, we even seen it here, right? When things start to change in momentum, we swept this, right? We swept this. We swept this weekly candle. I mean, this candle before everything blew up swept so many tops, right? It swept literally, 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5, like 5, right? Like 5 tops. It baited people, right? It practically created, yeah, almost equal to that's fine, equal tops, and then we actually blew up. So usually there's manipulation. So like, I'm not complaining if we just start going up and we just start getting more confirmation that we're going up. I'm not complaining, right? If I lose my trade, whatever, if I lose 1%, doesn't matter. I'm still up. What I made like 2.2 on that trade. Someone was like 2%. I lost 0.5% from just doing stupid little micro trades because I'm like, you know what? Just to push myself as a trader. I can't even speak right now. So even if I lost 1%, we're still up 0.5% on the week, which will bounce back anyways. I had a 6% last week, so last week was fantastic. So even if this week is slow, break even, -1%, +2, doesn't really matter to me. Yes, Turbo can reach 10 billion. I am very confident Turbo will reach 10 billion. That is like my bare minimum target. Like I know some people have other goals, but like you guys have to realize how big altcoin. Like you have to like. I get it. Some of this is your first cycle. Some of you guys maybe just came in at the end of last cycle, but I am really, really confident this cycle. Like I know how crazy altcoins can get. You have to realize some coins in its history, like Solana and stuff, went from like cents, couple dollars to hundreds of dollars. Yeah, altcoin season. When practically all the altcoins are going to be in the spotlight. Like that's like the only time practically that Bitcoin's not in the spotlight. 40 billion, unlikely, not impossible. I would say that 15 to 22.5 billion is going to be like the main sweet spot. Now remember, even though I do know this cycle is going to be crazy, I still always like to have a more conservative mindset because like for example, if I put like 5,000 in turbo and then I expect a turbo to make me 500,000, but then like let's say I get to like 300,000, which is still obviously insane. There's always that chance that you might like compromise yourself, right? You might compromise your thinking, be like, oh, but I expected another 200,000, you know? Oh sorry, we're all over the place, guys. I want to be honest. I I have streamed a couple times in my life, like just doing gaming and stuff, practically to no viewers. If I did have a chatter, it was either a bot or like one of my friends trolling or like someone real, which was super rare and it never happens again. So if I can't keep up with everything because I yap too much, I'm sorry about that. We will be improving. You will see the quality of streams increase over the next couple of weeks. But keep in mind we have 1 million memes. What do you mean we have 1 million memes? Turbo to 50 billion will be looking real good. Turbo 20 billion, solid sell. Yeah, guys, remember the price predictions can only get you so far. I always look at all the data, right? Like the one simple advice I could give you is like XRP showed it the best, and even though XRP technically pumped a little bit higher, the context of it was different, right? like usually altcoin season is just four very big candles. Four very big candles. We can even see in 2017, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 sell off, right? So when you start seeing that, when you start seeing altcoin dominance breakout, when you start seeing altcoin, altcoin dominance spike, Bitcoin dominance dump, you know you're in the end game, right? You know you're in the end game. Pangolin, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I like Pangolin, right? I just think their team needs to be a little faster, in my opinion, especially if we want to maximize gains. The lowest point I could see Pangolin really going is probably down to like that 13.5 cent area. The zone, what? Okay, I see. Wait, what? Oh, this is manipulation. Okay. Okay, this is manipulation. This is not even the Pangolin chart I use because I don't see this on my. Do I see something anywhere? When the hell did this happen? I could have sworn when I drew up Pangolin in the chat. When I drew up Pangolin in the chat, this was the buy area I was looking for. Or am I tripping? Maybe I was something on the weekly. What? Hold on, let me check. Let me check the Discord real quick, guys. Let me check the Discord real quick. We're gonna be doing like streams every single day. So if we don't like do everything in a single session, don't worry. Tomorrow, you can always also join the private community to get the fastest updates or a portfolio review, which is going to be something like in general, people should be really tightening up their portfolios because like this, like like this is it practically. Like the next few months are going to be crazy, and you know, Pangolin. Let me look where we drew up Pangolin in the chat. When was this? Dude, it must have. Okay, so it hit on a different thing, but this is literally what we were looking for. But yeah, Pangolin shouldn't really go like it should not go below like 13 cents. Like we are also like creating higher highs and momentum and everything. Like Pangolin's chart is absolutely like disgustingly messy, but this thing moves in bursts, right? This thing moves in bursts. You see, boom, boom, burst, boom, boom. Then we kind of like burst off. Now we are kind of just going diagonally, but we could actually see, or we could actually see on like even the daily, right? Low, higher lows consistently, right? Higher lows consistently. And we're probably going to burst the upside very, very soon. I have high hopes for this coin. It's going to be on the team between this coin hitting 10x and this coin hitting 100x. That's all it's going to come down to. Dark horse. It's a dark horse coin. Is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. Should it be like 50% of your portfolio? Probably not. I mean, you still probably make a decent amount. I mean, 10x is like great. That's what I still see at the minimum for this coin. But it is like a dark horse coin, right? It is a dark horse coin. That week was only coin. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. W Live, thank you so much. What time usually streaming? In the you're in Eastern time. So I think we're gonna mainly just start doing between like 7:30 to 8:30, or like from 7 till 8. Yeah, I'm not really a live streamer, and I do want to make sure you guys are entertained, getting the most amount of value. Um, I do know we will definitely be having longer streams. We also will be streaming like big news events, or like if something came out where it's like World War III is happening, crypto exploded. Um, yeah, Pepe's probably gonna go to 40 billion market cap, somewhere there. Pepe is a very, very big boy. And it's going to continue to be a big boy. It's not really going to be overtaken, right? Pepe is just a like very big meme. Like I said, I do think you can get an 8x out of it. You got to remember, some of the money from Doge, Sheep is going to trickle down to Pepe, and then eventually from Pepe, it's going to trickle down to some of these, right? Obviously, it's not literally all going to trickle down like perfectly, in order, and it's not literally going to go to all of these, but a lot of these will get affected once the bigger meme coins start selling off. You're like, these bigger meme coins are probably going to peak earlier, and then your like turbos, your other coins are probably going to peak like a couple of weeks later, if I'm being honest, because that's how it usually is, right? BTC is going to pump. Yeah, BTC broke structure. It did break structure, but it did sweep this high. It did sweep the daily high, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. We know Bitcoin is going to be going up overall. It is. But something is telling me, just based off this analysis, it's like I am just waiting for that manipulation. I really, really am. You got to remember, manipulation can last like 4 hours. It could be a 4 hour dump, 4 hour recovery. And like once you see that, you know you're clear. You got to remember, Bitcoin is always manipulated. This thing, it likes to play its tricks, people. It does. It really, really does. Some people thought this was the recovery. We called it back even in March and stuff. We're like, hey, this is going to get swept. So yeah, Bitcoin does like to play tricky. It truly, truly does. So we'll see. Like we swept the highs, right? We swept the highs, right? And now this 4 hour candle's already rejecting. It's already rejecting. Now it doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna sweep these bottoms, which is this is the last weekly point. Doesn't necessarily mean that, but I was thinking about this because I was like, if they are gonna sweep these weekly bottoms, there's a good chance they sweep the last relevant daily high, so people get baited. Then there's also a good chance they do this, so people get baited for shorts, and then boom, they actually go up. Because you got to realize, usually, and I've seen this like in forks and stuff too. Usually, when a coin wants to go up, it'll actually fake you with a buyout first, then potentially take some sell orders, and then actually reverse. Like a lot of the times, like a coin will like kind of like accumulate, right, going up and down. Then it'll go like this a little bit. It'll go higher than the accumulation, and then it'll have the manipulation, right? You may have heard this if you trade, the manipulation, and then it'll have the distribution. So you kind of see something like this, and it's in reverse. It's usually in reverse if it does plan on selling off. Like it doesn't always have to happen, but Bitcoin, it's one of those things. I've been paying attention to Bitcoin for a very, very long time, so I know the sucker likes to manipulate. Do you think the Mad Fury trend is coming back? Possibly. Possibly. The thing is, if a lot of people are going to start making that coin, remember these trends are probably going to die out very, very quickly. So, yeah. Like I said, but yeah, for PNG, probably like 13 cents. Any decent price targets for PNG on their weekly? We can look at this. Here's the thing. I don't think PNG is going to make massive moves until it does. Now that sounds like a dumb statement, but this coin is the definition of moving in bursts, right? It is moving in bursts. Like I actually do believe, I mean technically it would be like the equivalent of this, but I do believe we're somewhere like over here. I do believe Pangolin is going to have a huge burst to the upside. A huge burst. Because that's how it just moves. It'll like chill at its zone, like between like a 5 cent or 7 cent range for like weeks, and then it'll just explode within like 2 weeks and double its value, right? That is just the reality. Um, does this really count? Can I really do this? I don't remember, trend lines are also in a way subjective. Like they're not, but they are. Like I wouldn't really do this trend. Like I don't think this one's more valid. So I think like Pangolin, once it does, I mean, this also makes sense with terms of support and resistance, right? Once we flip this, which will be very, very important, but we will flip it because let's be honest, the whole market's going to be pumping, right? We're also going to be coming to the point where we are going to be trading above the trend line as well. So it's a double confirmation. And I truly do believe Pangolin will be seeing some quick type of momentum. Probably. I mean, there's like a few stations, right? We have this one over here, and we have this one over here. But probably to the most recent high would probably be fairly quick. Like it would not surprise me if once Pangolin starts pumping, we're going to be moving in very quick bursts, consolidate, and then probably pop off during altcoin season, something like that. Quant popping off. Toshi. Yeah, no, Ethereum, like, look, Ethereum's gonna pop. Everything's gonna pop off very, very soon. Like, if you're talking about micro moves, right? I am a little skeptical on Bitcoin's price action right now, but like, if we're talking about like a week from now, all of this stuff is practically going to be irrelevant. Like, all these micro moves are going to be irrelevant. Um, right? I'm just looking at how the daily closes. I'm just looking to see if there's going to be any big sweep to the downside. Um, we are coming close to an end. We also will probably end the stream like 15 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to see a lot of you guys. Look, there's 31 of you people. There's a lot of chatters. I know there's a lot of questions. I know I over probably explain sometimes. I over yap. Um, so we'll obviously try to keep things a little quicker. Um, is it going to do that? I bet the markets, yeah, the markets love they love manipulating people until the very last second. But once altcoin season starts and it starts pumping, like they don't care because they bought all their positions at the bottom, and then they help with the initial rally, and then obviously people coming in, and then they dump. Right. The thing is, sometimes even some positions they'll take a loss. That is the truth. That is the truth. So like whatever, coins will be doing this and then eventually like they'll be going up, right? But let's say they do something like this overall and then like this, right? And let's say even if this takes a couple weeks, whatever, these companies will be buying during accumulation. They'll buy up a lot also over here, and sometimes they'll even go further because even when they're selling off, right, their average price is just so high that even they don't mind breaking even or taking like the most minor losses, which is why you also see certain candles happen, right? So the way these markets work is like sometimes they'll pump a price up, like especially for forex, they'll pump a price up, so they'll have like some kind of buying order because something was accumulating for a long time, but then they do a huge sell order. But here's the deal, they actually keep their buy order open the whole time because they have so much money. And sometimes you're going to see it like, take a week to unfold, a month to unfold, a couple months, a year. It depends what we're talking about. But most of the time, it's usually just a couple weeks to a few short months. Even sometimes there's micro moves that can happen like within a couple of days, right? So they actually hold this buying position. They make so much money on their sell contracts, and then when price eventually goes back, it goes into a specific type of candle, which is why I call it a bank candle, and then they break even, or like they take the smallest of losses. So that's just how it works. That's literally how it works. That's why I call it a bank candle, a manipulation candle, because they purposely do it one way. They will sacrifice a certain amount of capital one way. They will hold as long as they have to. I mean, we can even see it here, right? We can see price was accumulating for a while, right? Price was accumulating. Eventually, it all got like swept, right? It all got swept here. We have like a bank candle in here. And then we can literally see, right? They pumped the price up. They got the orders in. They were probably cashing out, which is why you see accumulation. But when you see sideways movement, right? It's just up and down, because that's where they also usually cash out. And then you can see when it sold off, it went back to the area, right? When it went back to this area, into this candle, it went back here for a reason, because this was the manipulation. So they had some selling orders to manipulate. Then they bought up a lot. They made money. They're selling their buy positions. And then when the price went back into here, they sold for like break even, or they sold for like a minor loss, but they don't care, right? If it took them 100 million to pump down, but then it took them like 500 million to pump up, and that 500 million, let's say, made them a couple hundred million, or even like 100 or 200 million, and then they take like even a 5 million loss on the 100 million sells from earlier, like they're not going to care. It's just all manipulation. It's all manipulation. Oh, what portfolio review? Yo, listen, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny. I actually might. I was thinking about like changing that whole like, you know, that whole point. But yeah, it was funny. It was more like a commentator voice, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. Um, Yeah, portfolio review. It's something like that, right? I remember sometimes in December you mentioned certain coins might start pumping early in the bull run, where they won't pump anymore. May reference Turbo. Yeah, Turbo might come early because Turbo did actually peak. Remember, Turbo peaked mid October, while all the other coins actually peaked early December. So that's roughly a month and a half difference. Roughly a month and a half difference. And huge end, right? What else? And even in recent times, we were like the first coin to actually have a big explosion, right? We were like the first coin. So we have to pay attention because Turbo's top might come. It might come in the beginning of the altcoin season. Like within the first week of like the real altcoin season, it might already hit its top, which is something. We have to pay attention. It's something we have to consider because there is enough data in its history that could suggest, you know, that we are going to think. Because look, right? September, October, like mid-October, we peaked. And then, sure, we had another peak in December, right? We did. We did. But so did so many other coins. And, you know, for me, we just have to be paying attention. We just have to be paying attention. Even see the thing is like even in May, I'm pretty sure 2024 May was already like there were already like reversal signs happening for altcoins, but then Turbo popped off. So Turbo's timing might be a little bit different. It's just something we have to consider. It's not like I said, I say this stuff so it gets in people's head, so people remember, but it's not like a life or death scenario right now where we have to really pay attention. Definitely once things start exploding, we're going to be paying attention. And I did like I'm not perfect in my technical analysis, right? I'm not perfect in my technical analysis, but I did literally call Turbo's top here, and I did call Turbo's top here. Okay. Um, this was like during the Coinbase, and I remember I made that video. I was like, guys, I really do think Turbo, like, there's no sign, like, that's it. There's no signs of it pumping. Reversals look here. And I remember same thing here. And this was like kind of when I first started Turbo content. I was like, guys, it's going to reverse. And people were like, no, haha, it's not, right? It's not, because when I made the video and the recording, Turbo was already like it was somewhere here. It was somewhere here. No, what am I saying? When I made the update video, I remember because I was looking at this at the 4-hour time frame and I saw multiple rejections, like Turbo's going to reverse, blah 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 blah. And then when I made an update video, I was talking about how we were down. And then I remember when I made that update video, I was saying like, hey, thing, and then people are like, haha, no, it's up 30%. But like again, look, bank candle, right? Literally the same type of structure. Bank candle right here. Boom. Which is why also like when I saw the way Turbo is getting manipulated, it actually like it's the most beautiful thing. Turbo is manipulated by institutions. It literally has institutional type trading and manipulation, which is what you want for a meme coin. Because if your meme coin doesn't have that, your meme coin's not going to survive. That's just the reality. How many X's does Turbo have? What are we, like 300 million? At least 30, in my opinion. Like, yeah. What, we're like around 300 million right now for Turbo, I think. Turbo. Turbo. Oh my god. Turbo. What? I can't spell. Turbo. Yeah, like roughly like 30x, upwards of like past 30x, even a little bit from this price. I mean, I can look at AI 16 Z, but I don't really follow it or anything in terms of the fundamentals. Sorry, 4 big candles. When is the best time at that point to sell? Swiss is seeing those big candles. I don't know if you're still here. Sorry, guys. I'm such a bad streamer. I've never had this many chatters. I've streamed like technically before like, some gaming stuff literally there, like for like 5 times across 6 years, but like I said, I never really had any chatters or anything because obviously, um, it's going to do that. I bet. But how many percent turbo needs to hit previous all-time highs? We could check, but I'm pretty sure it's like roughly like 200% off the top of my head. Sorry, 4 big candles was the best. You have to use multiple data points, but usually you have like 4 big green weekly candles, and you already want to really start getting out by the third or fourth week, right? You don't have to time the literal tops. Going to the fourth week is very, very risky. That's when you have to start looking at the micro moves and everything. But yeah, usually it's like 3 to 4 weeks. Um, I'm not sure why it does, to be honest. I'm not sure. Is like I can't really explain to you why certain coins pump earlier than others or later than others, like unless it was like a narrative thing. But turbo, like in general, not every coin's gonna peak the same, right? That's when one coin's up 20% for the day and your coin's down 1%, it's not a big deal because it's probably gonna catch up in 2 days. But in terms of that big gap, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that's okay because if we do cash out turbo a little bit earlier, we could maybe even flip some of those profits. We could. Like I said, we talked about Nitro. We talked about Nitro. I literally, other than like just looking at the chart, I have literally zero clue like about this coin. We like I said, we looked at the technical analysis. It did break structure. I still like Bitcoin is possibly looking for um for confirmations. I mean, it's already confirming. I mean, we already have a higher 4-hour time frame candle, right? We did just sweep the daily, like we just did go above the last relevant daily candle. So I want to see if from now is going to be a fake out. If it is going to be a fake out, that means Bitcoin could possibly drop. I mean, 1.5% is not much. We could see upwards of 3% drop. So I would be looking for like a 3 million to 2 million market cap buy for Nitro. I mean, even if Nitro is the Walmart Turbo, you got to remember, like, okay, a lot of people hate the base Turbo, and I understand why you guys might hate it. But objectively, is there gain potential? Like, look, I said there's a 560. If it hits 560K market cap, more or less, maybe it hits like 600K, I might just buy in because Turbo is going to carry base Turbo. You got to remember that. Turbo is going to carry base Turbo. So even if you might not like base turbo and think it's cringe that, whatever, they're copying turbo because they are, because it's just based. But like, you can't be too blinded by that hate because this might make you a lot of money. Even if we were just to go back to all-time highs, if we did get hypothetically to 500,000 market cap, let's just use simple numbers. It's a little lower than, I expected to go, but let's say you could get it for 500,000 market cap, right? And this does run up to 20 million by near the end of the cycle. You just made yourself a 40x, a 40x, right? And it was a well calculated risk because you knew turbo was going to explode, right? You knew turbo was going to explode, and there also might be a based meta at one point. People might see turbo's up high, people might see based is high, or sorry, based is meta, and then base turbo might do really well. Listen, whether or not that is true, that it sucks the oxygen out, base turbo is going to do what it's going to do with or without you, right? I understand we love the original frog, right? I'm always going to put this original frog over the base one, but I'd be lying to you if I told you that this might not be a well calculated risk in terms of high gain potential. Because if you are going to invest in meme coins, like for me, like the knockoff version is a lot riskier, but it's like turbo will carry like 99, 98 of its legacy, like the name turbo, and then base turbo will be eating because of turbo. And the thing is, from what I've seen with base turbo, they are very, very active. They truly are. I don't even know. I don't remember their Twitter. Turbo based maybe. I actually don't even remember. Maybe I could do this. Actually, just click this. So they are very, very active, right? May 13th, June 1st, June 1st. Mask stays on. Mask stays on. Maybe they're even like the creator of this. Turbo didn't fall off. He was just on the toilet. Da 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 da. Look, from what I saw is they had decent amount of exchange listings. Nothing too crazy. But they are consistently, doing stuff. So I do think this coin can have like a 48x or even more potential run up, especially from 500,000 market cap. Whether or not you like it, it's just about the money. It's just about the money. Your prices just barely tapped. That's what my friend said. What the hell are you on about? Oh no, I don't use anything other than technical analysis and global liquidity. We are going to go to all-time highs probably this week. I just expected a manipulation first and then a pump. I do have more money in AI and like utility coins than meme coins. I don't I've been buying in dollar cost averaging so much. I don't literally know the actual numbers. And I do have coins on multiple exchanges, so I'm not gonna, like literally calculate it now. But I'm pretty sure like meme coins hold like probably 11% of my portfolio or something. And like Turbo is like 10% of those meme coins. So yeah. Because like for me, it's like honestly, I'm just looking for like obviously the prices are really low, but I'm honestly looking for like that 15x range from these types of prices. And it's like, you know, 15x is 15x. Gold Finch. What is that? Is that a meme coin? Oh, yeah, they're supposed to be. Okay, we'll do ICP first. Uh, ICP, IC, what? UCP, ICP. Boom, boom, boom. Oh well, beautiful monthly candle. That's actually like the most like reversal type candles you want. Um, yeah, literally tapped into 3 month order block as I do remember. Um, I think ICP is going to shine more in the summer. I think after June, I do think it's going to start recovering. The thing is, once we kind of go above like 590, $6, we should kind of break above and go easily to the 7 range. But once we're in the 7 range and we hold this, it should really start flying up quick. It really should. Like at the bare minimum, and I'm being a little bit generous with how little it would pump up quick, would be like back to like $11, let's say. But overall, I expect ICP to do well this cycle. It's also one of the coins I've been buying more recently because it was so discounted ICP that I'm like, I'm going to take the risk on ICP. I'm going to take the risk on ICP. Uh, okay? Well, I could look at you. Oh, sorry. I mean, I can look at you, but I can look at it for you. But I don't know anything about this project. Like literally nothing. I don't. I know. I've heard some people say we might have a slow summer. The global liquidity does not. The global liquidity suggests like if the global liquidity follows pound for pound for what we've seen when we lined up Bitcoin and stuff, like we might have Bitcoin at 145,000 ish in somewhere near mid July. So not a slow summer at all. Not a slow summer. Interesting. Okay, so this is the support. This is the manipulation. Okay, well, tapped into the monthly. A lot of the guys, a lot of your coins are about to start reversing. They might not like explode, but they're gonna start reversing very, very soon. Like very, very soon. Because like that's just how the markets are. Um bank candle, this, but then it's probably somewhere in thing in there. I do, you know what? Just based off technical analysis, I don't know anything about this coin. It would not surprise me if we hit like the $6 mark, which means you would get a little bit less than a 10x. Okay, so it's a game of ping pong. So we were selling off, change of momentum. We went above this zone, right? We went above this zone. We are actually holding, like, we are retesting off the zone, which I do expect this price to start reversing. If it's going to go down, it's going to go down like a small micro percent. We did, so we, it's just like a game of ping pong, right? It is like we tapped off this. We see multiple weeks of rejection. Now we're tapping back into this, and then I expect for us to burst above this. And it would not surprise me to go like this, because there's also a lot of, you know, support and resistance here. Obviously, these are more like fundamental moves. Sometimes coins just, they ignore the fundamentals and they go faster up. And then I would not be surprised to see it go to like $8.80, go into this weekly order block before it might slow down. Before then, you know, it would really start making its way to the upside. But I don't know anything about this coin, but just based off technical analysis. So yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up because it's almost 9 p.m. We did say we're gonna just be on for, you know, less than an hour, and it's practically like 2 now. I know computer exploded in between. Um, I don't. Oh, my mic is very low. Yeah, I have to change some of the settings. So yeah, streams are not going to be perfect. Streams are not going to be perfect. Probably for at least another week. There's a lot of things we got to tune and everything. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is practically going to end it. I'm going to monitor Bitcoin's price overall. Like this week and next week are going to be fantastic, right? The micro moves. If you do see Bitcoin back below 103K, it is going to be because of manipulation, which we will cover on this channel. It is going to be because of manipulation, not because of, you know, it's going to be a fake out. Okay. So yeah, we will do streams very, very often. I did have my cousin's birthday yesterday. So yeah, did have my cousin's birthday yesterday. So I am, you know, I wasn't streaming yesterday and stuff, but most of the time we're going to be like streaming 6 to 7 times a week, probably average of an hour. Since there's a lot of people, there's a lot of community, a lot of engagements. We go hour and a half, 2 hours. Doesn't really bother me. I love chatting and talking with all of you. If I did miss something, then I am, you know, obviously sorry about that. We'll be getting better. We'll respond faster and everything. And yeah, guys, I love you so much. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye. Remember, the good times, they're really, really like right there. They're right there. We're close. We're really, really close. Like really close. Like a couple months away close. Like, gotta keep your emotions in check, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your emotions in check. Yeah, the good times are ahead. I will say this because it just popped in my head. Like me personally, any quick flips, I am not looking for. Like any, like with my personal bag, I am not looking for. Like right now, is going to be really risky to be flipping your bags or swapping your cryptos unless your project is mediocre, trash, or going to be very underwhelming. But most of you guys probably hold good projects, right? From the portfolio reviews that I've done on my private community stuff, a lot of people do hold good projects. Their timing of the entries are just what makes it a little weaker, what makes them more stressed out. But overall, from what I see, a lot of you guys hold pretty good coins. So, you know, anyways, we're officially out. Love you guys so much. Until tomorrow.